Hey guys, good morning. We have two special guests joining in today, and this is the first time I'm actually doing this interview with a standing ovation because of Shrenik sir, because he is one of the first cancer survivor in this particular category, and it's an honor to have both of you here. And Jasveer is the one who is actually creating history by who's created a biography of Shrenik sir, and the name of the book is SHAHENSHAH, and he's basically documenting this particular book and which is available now. And this particular episode is being sponsored by V Singh Sense, our guest who joined in yesterday, Ravindra RK. So it's so nice of him that he's actually connected me to this particular inspiring story. So, friends, this is my first interview where I'm standing and doing this. So you know how much respect I've got this for this particular episode. So, Jasveer and Shrenik Shah, thank you for joining this particular episode. So, Jasveer, over to you. Maybe you can tell our new friends on how you started your journey, and you're already working in a corporate and working on in a job, and then you started this passion of writing, and you picked up this awesome story, which is inspiring to a lot of cancer survivors. So please, over to you.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor, and thank you so much, Work TV and V Sync Sense for having us here. Me and Shrenik, we've been working for almost 6 months together on this book. And let me just give you a brief about me. I am not a very avid book reader. In fact, most of my readers are surprised to know that I had never even read a full book, a novel or a book before I actually became a writer. So that comes as a shock, and that comes as a surprise to many. The usual midlife crisis at 35, 36, which is quite happening these days. So I was going through that, a lot of confusion, lot of stress. What do you do? And writing was something that I had been doing for a long time, and I scratched through my diary. What can I do? What can I do? What is wrong? So I've got this. Call it a manufacturing defect, but I have got this been there, done that attitude. So unfortunately, that stops me from taking help from anybody else. So and that kind of worked for my first book, which is a self-help book. So I wanted to help me, and I started writing random stuff as a way to bust stress, as a way to get negativity out of the brain. And that is when I realized that I've got about 55,000 words worth of childhood memories that I've actually scribbled on the paper.
Mm.
And that is how the idea of first book came in 2017, 2018. That was about July or August 2018 when somebody said, "Wow, you've got 55,000 words." I said, "Yeah, I've got 55,000 words." And they said, "Why don't you convert it into a book?" So
Mm.
I did a lot of beta reading. I gave it to a few people to read, and they said it needs a lot of work. But then, yeah, you've got a lot of words over here, and definitely a book is possible. And that's how
Right.
my first book, version one and a half, came into being. Now, before creating those 55,000 words, I had not read the book. I had not even read
Mm.
a single book. So somebody suggested, why don't you read a book? Why don't you read a novel to see how a novel actually looks like? What is the kind of language that is written over there? And that is the time that I read my first ever book. Before that, I had started so many books and then left it in the middle. Maybe I started with about 30 odd pages and then left. But this was the first book that I completed before publishing my first book. And this was Chetan Bhagat's One Indian Girl. I
Okay.
love the story, and I always recommend. See, I hadn't read any other book, so this became my benchmark. This became my benchmark for storytelling. I had been a trainer, so storytelling was there in my training,
Mm-hmm.
but this was the first time I was writing it, and so that's how the journey began. After that, I read a lot of other books as well. Ravinder Singh, and then Ron called Matilda. I was always curious about the movie, so I thought, why
Hmm.
not let's read the book, and then really amazing book. And Mark Manson, I'm sorry, his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F, was next. So that's how my sort of journey of being an author started. And after that, I've written about four more books, a combination of fiction and non-fiction. A spy thriller called 110 was my third book,
Okay.
and Shahenshah being the fifth book, and by far the most unique assignment, because this was the first time I was writing about somebody else. Thinking about my own childhood memories for the first book was easy. I
Hmm.
could talk to my family members. I could talk to people. I had lived that life. But herein, I was writing about Shrenik sir, and that became a unique challenge. But I enjoyed it,
Hmm.
and it's being inspirational. I was apprehensive about talking to him because Ravinder had said that he uses electrolarynx device to talk.
Right.
I was afraid, would I be able to understand him or not? And these sorts of doubts were there. But then we had our first video call before lockdown,
Hmm.
and he was in Ahmedabad, I was in Faridabad, New Delhi, and I was scared. How would I talk to him? Would he feel bad if I told him that I can't understand him? But the time you listen to him, the first words that you listen to him, you feel motivated. I started feeling goosebumps listening to his voice. He lost his voice, but he did not lose the battle. And the man that you see today, he's been, fighting
Hmm.
this battle for the past more than 20 years. 1997 was the time he had surgery, and so it's been actually more than 20 years now he's been doing. And that first conversation was more than enough. I was there, Ravinder was there on the call, and Shrenik sir was there, and that call was more than enough to convince me to write him. And something basics about communication that I learned that day was to listen more and speak less. We all know that, but we somehow tend to listen to people to counter them. But one of the most important lessons that I learned from my first conversation, and we had already know, I had already known it, but then I did it practically. Listen more,
Hmm.
speak less. And the journey has been quite exciting. Shahenshah is now out in ebook and paperback. A lot of hard work by Shrenik sir. I spoke to his family, I spoke to his colleagues, spoke to his friends to understand the 360-degree view about his life. And it's a unique biography to say because I seriously have not read any biography. So this is my way of presenting his life. I hope the readers would like my way of presenting his life, which is Shahenshah.
So, friends, this is the book which is available in Amazon. There's a beautiful life even after cancer, and the reason, I mean, maybe, yeah, Jasveer, you can give the answer why this name, why you decided to name this book Shahenshah.
Uh, the names of my books are my USPs. Version one and a half. Everybody was curious why one and a half, why not two, why not three. So
Hmm.
on the last page of the book, you will find the answer why one and a half, and then Diary from Heaven, then 110, 110. Spy thriller. Then the fourth book is the Metromaniac Chronicles. So
Hmm.
that's again a very scientific name, but it doesn't have to do anything with science. So I was thinking of a name, and uh, incidentally, I was watching Amitabh's movie Shahenshah the other day. I'm a
Hmm.
big movie buff, so I watch all kinds of movies. And the name Shah stood out in Shahenshah.
True.
Even on the book, Shahen is normal text, but Shah is italic. So it's the story of Shrenik Shah, Shehen Shah. So that's how I came up with the name, and he was dead against it. He said, "नहीं यार ये क्या नाम रख रहे हो तुम शहनशाह क्या है let's keep a very simple name, very humble name." But I said no. You know what? I am writing this story with this name in my mind. Now I can't change it. I convinced him, and that's how Shahenshah came into being because it's got Shah in it. Shahen Shah.
Good one. Good one. Thank you, Jasveer sir. Over to you, Shrenik sir. It's an honor having you here. Maybe you can talk about, you know, bits of your life story, how it started, how life evolved before meeting Jasveer and after meeting Jasveer.
Yeah, my only English myself normally because I always try something new, something unique, and something never ever ending, and that's how I'm working, and I enjoy doing things. In a second.
Very emotional song. One of the songs which got dedicated to me by one of my girlfriends. So, good job.
Oh wow. So, this is my short introduction. I live in the moment and literally no matter whatever any new ones number on 26 January. I guess it was 2000 or maybe 2001. That was a huge earthquake in Ahmedabad. At that time, I was living in a multi-story building. It was around, I think, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was doing my puja. Everybody was running out to the ground floor, and I stayed back in the puja room every 10 minutes, and I never much. So that's my fearless is fearless is puja room in reincarnate inherited from my father, and that's my life. So, what I have done is I have been uh, yeah, I will take 1 yeah, between my head and heart, and it's filled with the positivity all around. There is no space, no scope of negativity, and more and more I grow out my positivity. I'm getting it refilled every single day, and honestly speaking, even today I am in turn. I keep on learning everything. That's number one. Number two, I love enjoying and going after challenge, running after challenge. That's my marathon for all my life, and that's what I'm really enjoying. Uh, one I would like to show you one poster, and like to give you additional.
Nice.
So that's what I am. And one thing which I love is whatever I commit, I deliver. But I deliver gracefully and never shout if I'm not in a condition or if I'm not feeling comfortable. Like uh, other thing I would like to mention is I don't know how to play chess. Absolutely, grandson, you can take me in that moment. What I learned from University of Experience. I always appropriate in my life, and that is how I learned. That is how I'm my life talk shows in India, UK, US, and like that. And what else is young generation because they are so late next 30, 40 years of their professional career, be it doctor, be it engineer, whatever they field they are in. My target, I just keep on motivating them. I keep on building a bonding. I'm not a doctor and I cannot be a doctor, but I'm a visual engineer. I bridge between head and heart for the people. There are pillars of courage, confidence, troubleshooting, and I survey the bridge with the gratitude. And that's what my life is about. Last but never the least, I am 20. I am 23, not a candidate for the marriage. I am survived with my wife, two sons, two daughter-in-laws, and two grandsons. So that's what my life is all about. And one more thing I would like to point out that negativity is like as if you the negative acid in your end, it's going to spoil you, it's going to burn you all the way. Same in the case with the negativity. If you keep the negativity in hidden part, I mean, sooner or later you are going to burn away. So, I mean, you need to choose what exactly you would like to do. Whether you want to get burned out or you want to live a quality life. And that's all about shelter. One more. I'm here for all listeners, viewers, friends, everyone. I'm here with the spectrum of colors, uh, fragrance of jasmine, and flavor of saffron. And so I made this combination. I'm into this color. So colors are always my priority, mission, passion, whatever you say. So that's what my life is all about.
Super. So I think, Jasveer, it takes only few minutes initially to, understand, but after that, you're like, you can really understand whatever he's saying. It just takes those few minutes to get into that particular flow, to slowly focus and, concentrate on what he's saying. But thank
Yeah.
you, Shrenik sir. I mean, it's an awesome journey. Regards to you and your family. So we do have some questions for both of you so that we also get to know you well. So let's start with Jasveer. What's the skill you would like to improve on?
Uh, Skills that I would like to improve on. Storytelling. I am still working on it, and
Hmm.
I thought I was the master of storytelling as a trainer. But as a writer, you learn with every word that you're writing, every phrase that you're writing. And
Hmm.
one of the feedback that I got with my first fiction book, 110, which was incidentally my third book, is that it's written like a movie script.
Hmm.
It's quite detailed. It's pretty huge at about 400 pages. So something that I learned was, I need to keep it concise when I'm writing a book. So yeah, as a writer, I would love to improve my storytelling skills.
Oh,
Keep improving
nice.
on them.
Yeah. So, Shrenik sir, this is for you. What is that one thing which always makes you laugh?
As I said earlier, I want to build a bridge between and art for all youngsters globally, so that there is no stress, no trauma, and people would live life to the full extent with no worries at all. And that's my vision, I would say.
Good one. So, Jasveer, this is for you. How do you like to spend a rainy day?
Rainy day,
Hmm.
pakoras with some black coffee. My wife and my wife shares my passion for adventure. So
Hmm.
it's been a blessing. We've been married for 5 years, and
Yeah.
uh, she goes on wherever I take her. She's got that adventurous streak of herself, and rain is something we both love. We both love to freak out in rain, and pakoras and black coffee is what works for me, and pakoras and chai is what works for her.
Good one. Yeah, pakoda and chai
A
and or
bit
coffee
old
is a
fashioned.
common thing. Pakoda with black coffee is something which is unique for Jasveer, I think.
Yeah, I've been called old fashioned. So yeah, approaching 40. So I tend to take pride in being old fashioned. I love pakoras.
Good one. Shrenik sir, this is for you. Have you ever lied about your age?
No, no, never,
No,
never. The
no.
reason I tell you that once you mention the reliable or honest age, people will respect you. That number one, you are not a liar, and two, that it is their choice whether to go along or not to go along. So you are never hold responsible of being lied, and then it's people choice.
I honestly thought he was about to say yes because he's got
Uh,
amazing sense.
I envy the grace he's got. I think
Yeah,
that's pretty coming pretty soon, except for the hair on the top. But yeah, Shrenik sir, you look amazing with those black pen pepper look. Those pepper, I mean,
Uh,
you know,
uh, that will give you some of my English friends, both male and female. They always mention that I got a alien smile.
true, very true.
I think the white is the new cool.
Cool,
Anil,
yeah.
yeah. In fact, Dinesh Mohan, if you follow him,
Hmm.
Dinesh Mohan is an actor who turned
Hmm.
his life at 55. He's got an amazing saying in Punjabi. So it goes like this: "Ki chitta rang lagawa biba, thad pare. Je tu
Hmm.
wal vek ke ana biba, chhad pare." So, which means that why should I color my hair? It's gray, right? But if you are coming because of the hair color, then just leave it. That's
Okay.
what the saying is. So he takes
Good.
pride in his grays,
Great.
white color. Yeah, yeah. He's an amazing guy.
Nice. So, Jaspreet, this is for you. What's your favorite subject in school? What was
And
your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject was physical education. I'm an outdoor guy. Physical
Hmm.
education, no doubt. I hated maths. I hated chemistry. Physical education, sports.
Okay. Shrenik sir, this is for you. What risks do you think are worth taking?
um, yes, I enjoy running that program, and that means I would say I can define myself as a troubleshooter. If I wake up with some challenge and I don't sleep till I get over and accomplish the success out of the challenge, and I'm enjoying it like getting because then you have a full day goal what to do, and so that's giving me active and late college life, and on the top of the start learning something new, and once I learn, I understand it, and if I find appropriate, I adapt it. So I would say my life is full of adaptation. I'm learning everything new and adapting, and that's everything here. So there is no space for the negativity.
Super.
And Anil, something that is so challenging about Shrenik sir is that when you meet him, when you interact with him, you feel that at one point at there's that awkward moment when you feel that this guy can communicate better than you without a voice.
Hmm.
You've
True.
got voice, you've got everything, and suddenly there is an awkward moment for you, awkward and ironic moment where you realize, wow, he can communicate better than you, he can connect better than you. So that in itself is a challenge for the person who's interacting with him.
Hmm.
So
I completely agree.
Uh,
And
uh,
yeah, he's saying something. Yeah.
one moment. Sorry. Just we picked up a very right point. Let me ask you guys. One morning, you and you realize that you can no more speak naturally. What is going to be the quantum of the stress, frustration, anger, and everything in life? And so forget about not losing the ability to speak naturally, but you are told that okay, Ravi or Jasveer, you are not going to speak for 24 hours just and do whatever you have to do it only by science or whatever. What is going to be the situation the next day? Believe me, you will be on a meditation, or rather you need a medicine because you cannot tolerate the silence. So
Hmm.
actually this book changer, I would say it's my sound of silence, my sound of silence into ebook, into paperback, and believe me, as I said, the way in which you guys can speak naturally, and I cannot without this. What will be the frustration, anger, and everything? But as I said, I have accepted the fact, and that was my midlife crisis. I get this at the age of 44. I am into international business, and I have traveled to more than 35 countries, more than 200 trips, and you will be surprised, Arabian Jesuit. You know that at times I was boarding aircraft plane 7 times in 28 hours, 7 times in 28 hours, and these are all international flights, and this one not once, too many times. My European customers, they were all knowing me as a cowboy because the moment meeting is over, I go to the airport, catch flight, going to the next destination. That's how my life was. And in 1986, when people were not ready to go to Brazil, to go to Argentina, that is South American countries, Latin America. I was going there 4 or 5 times in a year for my business. So I love to be taking this. Sorry, when you asked earlier about taking this, so this is what I enjoy, and I enjoy meeting people, communicating, and making them friends. One more point I would like to mention. This book is dedicated to all oncologists, cancer patients, cancer survivors, Shrenik every single day. It could be on any social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger, LinkedIn, and anything. But I keep on communicating, motivating the patients, and that's what I am enjoying doing it. And believe me, I have done all these stuffs, all motivation, all counseling free of cost. I have never taken single penny from anybody in the world, and that's my accomplishment. And in this book, when you will go through the book, you will find not one, not two, not 10. You will find 30 or the accommodation, reference letters, and testimonials, and these are all originals. There is no deviation made at any point of time. It has been mentioned as it is without any editing, without any correction. And feel free to read all those guys about me, and you will know everything black and white in this color time.
Thank you, sir. That is so nice way of putting it across. So the next,
Another target of
yeah, just wait.
traveling.
Yeah.
Did he give you another target of traveling, extensive traveling across the world?
Yeah. So Jasveer, this is for you.
Yeah.
Uh, Jasveer, you buy me a ticket, and then I will be your guide to travel the world around. Only condition is you don't manage all my expenses of traveling, hotel, and I'm staying vegetarian. So that's it.
Well, sir, will do.
So Jasveer, do you have a nickname for yourself?
Yeah, people call me Just
Just okay.
short form.
Shrenik, sir,
As
this
a
is for. Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
please.
started my career in call centers, right? So the earlier names were Jason,
Hmm.
Jazz. You were pick an alias when you joined the call center, right?
Yeah,
But no, Jasveer no, automatically boils down to Just nowadays. So it's Just
yeah,
JAS.
yeah. My name is Raymond when I started, so like everybody loves
Same.
Raymond, so that was
Yeah, funny names, funny names.
yeah. Shrenik, sir, what's your favorite Disney movie?
Look, honestly, I'm not much into movies. I see very less, but yes, I'm a big fan of Ghazal in the songs while traveling from Ahmedabad to London for 9 hours. Entire 9 hours, I keep on listening music or other Hindi songs, and there are a couple of songs which are close to my heart. And believe me, I am listening those particular songs at the stretch 20 times, 20 times one single song at a time. But that the best advantage of that is that it wonders those songs, those lyrics wanders my eyes and my heart, and it becomes like a fountain. That is absolutely why when I get down in London or even in New York, I am absolutely as fresh as when I am boarded in Ahmedabad.
Okay, so I have another question because you're not much into movies but more into songs. If you had a personal flag, okay, in the name of Shrenik Shah, what would be on it? What would be the symbol that would be on it?
Smile, smile with the lipstick because it makes you prominent, attractive.
Thank you. So, Jasveer, this is for you. What are the three important, interesting things which your friends are not aware about you? One day you surprise them with your writing skills, but what are the others?
Yeah, that was one. That was one. I don't know if there is anything else which my friends don't know. You know, my close friends, my family, they know everything about me, good or bad. So I think writing was something that has come as a shock to almost everyone because
Mhm.
everybody knew me as somebody who hated books. You know, I was waiting to complete school, never liked it. I took a sigh of relief when I completed schooling, and then college happened. So, yeah, you know, we've had love-lost relationship, me and books. So, or more like love-hate, right? So that was really a shock for everybody when I turned author. Um,
Mm.
I'm an open book. People know me. You know who are close to me. People actually know me. So there's probably nothing which is hidden from everybody else.
Yeah, yeah. Friends, it's difficult to, hide things because they know you well for many years. But since your
Yeah.
wife only knows you for 5 years, what is that one thing she is not aware about you?
Oh, yeah. A lot of things. You know, a lot of things which my wife is not aware about me. We'll connect offline.
Okay, yeah. One
I
thing
just
which your wife is not aware, but have you told that one thing to Shrenik sir while you were interacting with him, you were like really close and would chit-chatting with him?
Yeah, and you know, like every youngster, I've also made some mistakes in my life, and I've had a period uh, wherein life was on a downward spiral, you know, as a youngster because of emotional or whatever reason. So that part of life is actually being put in a safe, you know. You can't get rid of memories. That's what I believe in version 1.5. I use my own memories as an anchor to sort of treat my midlife crisis, so to speak. So yeah, those memories are there in the boxes, and even Shrenik sir do not know about it. He's not aware of
So
it.
we will wait for Shahenshah 2.0 soon, so that during that interaction, Shrenik sir gets to know more about you.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Sir, here we go. Another challenge from Anil. Shansha 2. Wonderful. Look forward to it, sir.
Okay, Shrenik sir, this is for you. If your life had a theme song, what would it be? I mean, apart from the song which you played earlier.
Um, you'll be summarize the title song of Galupono. That is always giving being or other playing in my head all the time because I love that tone. The music is awesome, and believe me, whenever I listen that particular tone or that tune title song, it brings me tears. Believe me, but then but I feel absolutely comfortable because I love that song like anything.
True, I agree. So Jasveer, this is for you. What's something you always wanted to try but didn't get a chance because you were writing books, you were focusing on training sir, or on your own go with writing.
Something that I couldn't do. So, the best part about my life is last 20 years have been a no regret life. I've done everything that I could, and including mountaineering. So I've done that. But yeah, one dream, and I hope I could achieve it at this stage in life, or maybe later, is to climb the highest peak in the world, which is Mount Everest.
Yeah,
That is
that's
that
so
is
obvious, right? So you're like living your dreams. You're spending most of the time with people like Shrenik sir. So obviously you will have these thoughts of like achieving something like
yeah.
is close to impossible.
He's actually set the bar pretty high for me. So I'm aiming highest. Yeah, but yeah, some time in my lifetime, and I believe that you're as old as you think you
Hmm.
are. So I still consider me a kid, and I still have that spark in me. People ask me to write romantic stories, but I said I can't write because I have that kid in me which stops me from writing such matured content. So even 110, my only fiction book till date is about spies. It's about action movies because I've loved action movies. Die Hard, Rambo. These are the kind of movies that I love. 007. I'm sorry, James Bond. So that's my ode to it, and that's the kid in me writing. And trust me, I think the day that kid is no more in me, maybe I won't be able to write stories. So yeah, that kid in me has actually motivated me to aim higher than what Shrenik Shah has achieved. So yeah, he's been an inspiration. He's been a thorough inspiration for me.
Super. Shrenik sir, this is for you. If you could witness any event in the past, future, or present, what would it be? What is that event you would like to witness?
Very simple. I would like the world to be cancer free. That's like because that can save more than millions of lives every year. That's my dream, and in fact, that is my relentless pursuit. And probably I have never, I could not mention earlier, but this biography schedule, this is the first biography in the world
Sure.
for the LARYGECTOMEE, the way in which I am speaking. So we really have a privilege to launch this book as a ebook and paperback. And before I forget, I would like to mention because just a few minutes back, just we mentioned about James Bond. Ravi, we as a cancer survivor, cancer winner, cancer conqueror, whatever you say, we are a real James Bond. We are living with the enemy 24 by 7. We don't need any script writing, we don't need any choreographer, we don't need any director, producer, anything. Every single day we manage to defeat the enemy, and so I would say people should not people should come to us and pay to us for what we are doing as we are a real gemstone, and where we never have to act. It is spontaneous, like not me. All single cancer survivors, patients, everybody, they are living. And I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all caregivers in the world, all caregivers in the world, by joining my two hands. That the way in which they are giving support to their spouse, to their family members, that's something unimaginable. They are giving support by default. So that is I simply more down to all of them, and in fact I would like to dedicate this book to the all caregivers of the world.
We're done with the rapid fire questions, Jasveer and Shrenik sir. So nice to have you on the show. I really loved the way Shrenik sir could discuss about some of his memories and the way he's evolved. A happy family. I really love the way he's being passionate. He's a warrior. Definitely the name of the book stands out, Shahenshah, because Shahenshah for us is Amitabh Bachchan who fought with a lot of enemies and he stood out. So someday I would like to see in that pose, sir, if you can do that Shahenshah pose of Amitabh Bachchan and have that as at least as a poster so that we can go and promote this particular book. Uh, it would really suit the hairstyle and the beard you had because I think that was one movie, first movie of Amitabh Bachchan, which he came with that particular attire with salt and pepper look. So really
Yes.
suits that particular platform. But yeah, I have no words, to thank you on what you're doing, because you're not only a survivor, but you're also trying to spread the word out. You're spreading the positivity and the courage people should have to fight cancer, and it's not an easy task. And now, unfortunately, cancer is part of every family. There is at least one family member who is struggling with this particular battle of cancer, and we need a lot of attention. As Mr. Ravindra also mentioned that the importance which we have given to this particular pandemic, if we could give that the same importance for cancer, I think we would have achieved greater heights. And Jasveer, thanks a lot for writing a book, because some of these causes are just they just become opinion of individuals. They try to shout out and can only reach out to their friends and family members, to a smaller group. And when authors like you create a book like this, you're actually creating a record of this, and where it is accessible to a larger audience, not only within the city or state or the nation, but across the globe. So I would love
Thank you.
viewers to basically go through this particular book. It's very reasonable. It's hardly like less than $3 if you're buying a digital copy, and less than $8 if you're buying the paper bag, which is available on Amazon. All you have to do is search for Shahenshah. I've created the picture. I will also share the link below where you can click and just order the book. So gift it. I mean, if you're not, going through cancer, and it's just not about cancer. There are three options where you can actually give why you should buy this particular book. One, if you have a family member who is suffering from cancer, you basically, this book is an example of how a person has come out of it, and he's actually a motivational speaker for others. Okay, so you're basically giving them hope that you can battle through cancer and come out of it. Second, people who are not with cancer, and who are going through depression, for them also this is a good book. It is not necessary you have cancer, but depression is as equivalent as cancer. So if you're getting depressed, this is also a book which is highly recommended. Third, if you're a coach, or a person who is into mentoring, or coach, or a doctor who is a psychiatric, or a person who is into mental health, I think you can also have this book in your shelves, and give it to every person who comes across you to read this particular book, because it will definitely give them an example that, hey, you can do a lot more in life, and how can you can kick any of these diseases out of your life. They're just being positive. I think that's the message. That's the message of the warrior. So over to you, Shrenik sir.
I just want to mention one that this book, you know, I would like to point out one research details I had Googled. One particular thought stays in your head in your brain for 68 seconds, 68 seconds, and through this book, we are transforming a minute of worry of 1 minute into 60 seconds of happiness. And that's my target, that's our target, that's the target of our team, Sensor. And that's what we are doing. And when you summarize for us, that means me and Jasveer, this book was like our honeymoon period of 6 weeks, and we have delivered a baby. And in 6 weeks' time, we have never looked back. We have worked day and night, so you can understand the what will be the content, and there is zero fiction in the book, and thus we could manage to do it. And again, as I said, we myself and we are 360 degree blessed by the board and too many known and unknown faces divide us. So I believe that that's our accomplishment.
Superb.
I love that
Completely agree. So congratulations on the baby this week and Shrenik.
and Anil, the underlying message of the book is don't die before you are dead. Uh, Fear is something that kills the person before cancer does. And in the book, we try to actually highlight some ways the person can actually overcome fear. And Ravindra is doing a great job in ensuring that fear doesn't, affect the patient. So he's into counseling, he's into patient care counseling, so he's into a lot of stuff that happens between revealing to the patient that yes, they are suffering from cancer, and between the treatment. So that part is very critical. Majority of the people lose hope even before the treatment starts. The term radiation therapy, cancer treatment is in itself very scary for people in India, especially wherein the awareness is not that good. So what we've done is we've tried to make people aware that yes, even disease like cancer can be treated, but only if you want it to be, treated. Otherwise, if you don't want, if you are afraid, constantly afraid, if you're in stress, how can the treatment work if your mind is not willing to be treated? So the underlying message is to treat your mind first and before you treat your body. I think that's so true in case of COVID also. Most of the people are afraid of COVID because this is the first time they've seen a pandemic of such a big level in India or across the world. So that fear, that stress is there in the mind. I've had a few people who were positive, right? Their entire family was positive, and they've just preferred staying at home by being together. That's it. By being happy, and they've overcome COVID without without any specialized treatment from the doctors. So everything can be done if you can overcome your fear. That's that's for the message we intend to relay.
So thank you, Jasveer and Shrenik sir, for being here again. Standing ovation for you, Shrenik sir, for being part of this. Thank you, friends, for joining in. So do watch this particular episode, and do subscribe. Buy this particular book, and yeah, every compliment which you provide on this particular episode, and following Shrenik sir and Jasveer, who are making things happen, would add a lot of value. Sir, over to you, Shrenik sir,
Ravi,
please.
I would like to mention very clearly to all listeners that web browsers are certainly a very good source of information, but let your doctors, let your medical professors, and let oncologists do their job because if you get sick, no web browser is going to treat you instantly. They are not going to save you at any point of time. So, of course, try to get an information from web browser, but trust your oncologist and don't ignore their advice. That's very important.
True, very true. I think, yeah, some of these initiatives are definitely not replacing what doctors have to say. So I really respect your
Absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Eh, And I always mention that oncologists, doctors, they are the a real Krishna of our lifeguard. They keep us motivated, they keep us navigating, they keep us properly by treating us wisely because their knowledge, their experience, everything is immense. So I would certainly recognize all medical professionals as Krishna, Lord Krishna. I bow down to them like anything.
true, so true. So Thank you, sir. Thank you again. And again, a standing ovation for you. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Jasveer, for making this happen. And Mr. Ravinder for, inspiring both of them to connect and ensure that they take this to the next level, to the next heights. Thank you. Please do read the book, and the link is mentioned below. And sir is showing the cover page of the book. So yeah, thank you for all for joining in. Have a great day and keep inspiring people this way. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much,
All
Anil.
right. Take care. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Ravi. Bye bye.